Hey, YouTube here again to talk about things going on with the world around us. I am posting this while driving in Bay Area traffic, which today is at Los Angeles levels. It's pretty bad, so it's going to take me a while to get anywhere. I am currently traveling at 1/2 of a mile per hour. I might get off on an exit anyways. Jump right into this. A Vegas shooting. There's so much to talk about. Here's my response. First and foremost, I found it very disgusting that so many politicians, people with high profiles, celebrities, etc., I guess most notably Hillary Clinton, jumped on just people who own guns and are blaming them for this. And Hillary Clinton, by example, within hours of the event actually happening, is actually tweeting about the NRA and how they blocked a bill or helped lobby against a bill that was going to restrict silencers for ownership, and that wasn't entirely relevant to the situation at hand. And a lot of people, primarily on the left, are saying enough is enough, time to ban guns, and it's like, okay, first off, banning guns, there are 88 guns for every 100 people in this country, and in some counties there's like 5 guns for every 1 person in them. So if you want to ban guns, it's a door-to-door confiscation, far beyond that of which law enforcement is completely capable of, so it might require military intervention. But at the situation at hand, we don't know where the shooter, this is also fishy, I'll talk about this in a second, who is still suspected of suicide. And more importantly, we don't know where he got his guns. The shooter's brother was surprised to hear the guy even had possession of fully automatic weapons. Fully automatic weapons, by the way, are illegal to own without approval and without having gone through a permitting process overseen by the FBI. So it's very possible that the shooter got his guns from somebody else. So I don't think he worked alone. ISIS has claimed responsibility for the shooting, and if that is true, it's very possible they provided him with weapons. And if that's the case, how did ISIS get into Las Vegas and get 20 guns into a hotel room? So it's disgusting that politicians, now I'm just going to get off, I don't care. It's disgusting that politicians are already pointing fingers at people like the NRA when we don't even know where the guns even came from. If the guns came from south of the border or from the Middle East, how would the NRA have stopped that? And talk about insensitive. The victims who were killed by the shooter and their families get to see this political finger waving instead of what people can actually more effectively use their platform for. Say, hey, if you want to help, here's how you can do that. Donate to this page here, or donate blood at this location, or we need platelets, or we need X, Y, and Z. Here's how you do that. Nope, rather it's all the NRA's fault, let's blame them, before the investigation has even really began. And on Facebook, I know this is a broken record for me, but I've had so many people who are on the left really oppose me for calling out Hillary Clinton, for saying, hey, the people are literally dying as you're tweeting this. Like, why do you think it's a good idea to start attacking the NRA, which, in my opinion, isn't entirely relevant to the situation at hand. And of course, the argument is, well, the NRA is responsible for so many shootings. We can't let them keep blocking legislation. Okay, I'm sure these people who have these opinions aren't gun owners, but I'm a gun owner, and I can tell you that there are thousands and thousands of regulations. And in order to even own a gun, you have to pass these tests, you have to have these background checks, you're on a national registry. It's not easy to own a gun. And these are just semi-autos, and I'm in the state of California, where you can't have a magazine more than 10 rounds. All that being said, in no way, shape, or form am I at all opposing any legislation for gun ownership or for guns. One thing I've talked about with many people is if you want to have gun registration, there should be an annual fee for each gun you own. And I'm not opposed to that, because we have that with cars, and it seems to work out nicely, and it would certainly incentivize people to be more conscious about what guns they buy, and maybe not buy 60 guns, which some people have. And if they are a collector, then maybe there's a special license for them to own, versus someone who's the average gun owner, which maybe owns like 5 or 10 guns, which is, as a gun owner, I would say perfectly reasonable, because there's different types of guns for different types of uses. But back to the situation at hand, Vegas shooting. It is completely terrible what happened. Another aspect to it is there's a lot of very fishy things. There's footage of potentially another shooter on a lower floor, and actually know a handful of people who live in Vegas, and I know about 3 people, 2 of which by proxy, who were traveling to Vegas that weekend, and they confirmed that there was, or in their opinion, from their eyewitness accounts, saw and heard and were told by the hotels that there were shooters at the hotels. And if you look on the internet, it's not hard to find footage that doesn't add up with what story has already been told. And I understand how this can happen. I'm not saying that it's a conspiracy by the government to make something like this happen, and I'm not saying that the media is responsible for not the whole story being told. But as I will say, a media expert, because I went to school for television production, have a degree in broadcasting and TV production, and studied journalism extensively as well. That is widely known in the field of journalism that you can't tell the whole story in the short amount of time it requires to release your story to the public. So it's important you get the best story you can. Once you have that story, if more information is presented, then you can add on to that story. Problem is that this is especially difficult when there's an investigation being done by law enforcement. When this is happening, they tend to tell the media to stay out of the way until an investigation is complete. Problem with a mass shooting is some investigations can take a very long-ass time. Some investigations can take as long as 2 to 3 months, and for something with 57 dead people, or 59, however it is now, it's probably going to take longer than that. But to get back on topic again, because now I'm talking about police operation, I think what's very important to establish as well, that there seems to be a movement in this country among leftists to simply say, if you say anything other than what CNN or MSNBC has been presenting, then you're a conspiracy theorist. That's what happened to me. I posted something that my friend videotaped or video recorded on their phone of what's happening, and it doesn't add up with what has happened. And I was like, okay, here's some more evidence as to what's happening. I'm not saying that the news is wrong. I'm just saying that maybe there's more to this story. You be the judge. And I had like 3 different people call me a conspiracy theorist, and one friend of my friend, one associate of mine, seriously says, "So, are you the type of person who thinks Sandy Hook never happened?" Like, what the heck? You guys really want to jump the shark with me on that? I'm not saying that, hey, look, this proves that there's multiple shooters, but I am saying, like, something fucked up's going on, and there's more than the story. I also want to point out, quote-unquote, suspected suicide. Come on, suspected suicide? I guess we'll find out when the investigation continues, but I don't know. If you also watch, there's videos with the police dispatch. Obviously, the scene was chaotic, and they're not going to have all the answers. But as someone who is doing it myself, I want to just encourage you all to go down these rabbit holes and look at these videos. I'm not telling you what to think or what to believe. I'm just telling you need to go and look. Because I'm so tired of people, generally leftists, telling me that I'm not allowed to form an opinion based on only based on what the news media portrays. Yeah, really quick, want to just turn my camera. Look at that traffic. Taking back roads here. But in closing, last thing I want to say is the left-right paradigm has been no more evident than this past week. CNN posted an article. Well, there was a CBS executive who said, "Oh, good thing they're Republicans. Good thing they got fired." But CNN, without missing a beat, posted an article trying to blame Republicans for this shooting, when the guy who did the shooting just gunned down a country music concert, a type of music which is predominantly listened to by Republicans. So it's safe to assume most of the Republicans were murdered by someone who's a registered Democrat. Yet you're blaming Republicans, and also this is left-right. Who cares? We're all human. And it's just disgusting. Like, why would you make it a left-right thing? I understand Republicans generally protect the Second Amendment better than Democrats do. But here's my ultimate opinion on politics. It's a two-winged bird. They always work together to get stupid shit done or not done. And when stuff like this happens, they tend to point fingers at things that don't deserve to be blamed for insane tragedies like this. Anyways, that's it for me. Alright, I'm gonna get back to focusing on driving here. Hope you're all having a good one. You know, if you haven't yet, you know, please make it a point to donate blood or donate to charities that are supporting the organization. Sorry I don't have a link on this one because I'm live. But that's all I had the chance to do for now. But please do your best to support the effort and stop dividing the country over this whole thing. Yes, sensible gun control is something we can totally accomplish together. Let's make it sensible though, and let's not get carried away here. Let's not turn into a gun ban, which would be very difficult to do. Have a good one, guys.